Hello, everybody. Welcome to my video. This looks pretty good. I haven't done a live in a really long time. All right, so I am... Okay, so I can see comments, so if you pop on here, feel free to say hello and we will chat a little bit. So I wanted to catch up with everybody. It has been, I can't believe August is already over. It feels like it just started. We are back in school, so I am here alone today. So that feels really weird to be at home these days for most of the day alone. We're still doing a little bit of running around with Violet, and Kayla's in volleyball, and there's a few things to get used to, but overall we're doing good and settling in, and I am really excited to be back at work. For the most part, normal. It feels really nice. So a few things I want to update you on, catch you up on a few housekeeping items, and then I want to dive in and make a card with you today. So the first one is I have 2 paper party packs. I'm going to show those to you right now that I had, somebody had claimed, and then 2 people ended up not paying. So I have 2 of these kits extra. And so I am going to go ahead and put these up for sale for $45, which is a steal. The paper party that Pip and I do is a 2-day event. You get a paper party pack, which I'm going to show you right now. And then you are invited to be a part of our 2-day party online. Everything is recorded, so if you can't join during that time that we're doing it, everything will be recorded and sent to you. You can pop in or out at any time. It is all of Friday and all of Saturday, so you can catch up. You can pop in at any time. Pip is usually live later in the day for us because we're in the US, she's in the UK. So when she is live, it's usually later in the evening for us. When I am live, it is later for the UK people, or if you're overseas, it's going to be a little bit later for you, but we just pop in and out and we do so many fun things. We do lots of lives. We share at least 4 pre-recorded videos of projects, and then Pip does a craft along where she jumps on Zoom and crafts with everybody, and I do a lot of lives. It's easier for me to do lives with the kids because it's the weekend. Hey ladies, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for popping in. So I have 2 of these kits that are available. They are $45 each, and this is what you get. You get the main paper party pack. So you get the cardstock that you're going to need to create your cards. You get a lovely gift pack here. So there's some embellishments in here. I have lots of goodies in here. There's some Memory and More cards, your envelopes, snowflakes for some of your cards, embellishment pack, really fun gift bag, treat bag right here. And then you get a bag of die cuts, and those are all of the items that you're going to need to put together your cards, because you get a set of designer paper. So this is all of the pattern paper, the designer paper that is in the holiday catalog. There are 11 sets of paper here. You get a quarter pack of each set of pattern paper, and with each set of pattern paper, you get to make a card. So that's what all of this is. You're going to take this, and then we're going to show you how to make 11 cards. And then what I have as a bonus for everybody got this in for my paper party. This was a surprise for everybody. If you've purchased the paper party pack, everything has been mailed. It was mailed yesterday, so your packages should be showing up to you. And as a fun surprise gift, I included all of the celebration paper. So there's a quarter pack of each of the celebration papers, which are these 3 right here. And then as well, the host paper that is in the holiday catalog, the fall winter holiday catalog. Everybody got that. So that is a little add-on gift that I did. So I have 2 of these. Again, I just have 2. They just were, people signed up for them and then didn't pay, and that happens. usually always happens, you know, with at least one kit. This time it happened with 2, and I would love to send this off to somebody and it not totally go to waste. So these are $45. What you're going to do is either comment in the comment section or send me an email, or there will be a link in the description box. I will have to do that right after I do this live. If you comment when we're live, then then you will get it. Or if you make a comment in the comment section, and I will get back to everybody today. So I have 2 of those. I really enjoy our paper parties. We do lots of fun projects. It really is just 2 days of crafting, and it's always a lot of work to put these together. But once I get to the paper party part, like the days of the party, I'm always ecstatic because I don't have a lot of time to craft. Running a business and whatnot, I don't get a lot of time to just sit and craft. And those 2 days I always set aside so that I can just craft and hang out and connect with everybody. So I love it. So if you're interested, I will do these for $45. And then shipping is I think it's $9 for the padded. I do a padded priority envelope so that you will get it within a couple days, and then you will get an invite. There are PDFs for all of our projects so that you can follow along and have all of the measurements, and then you have all of the products. So again, I just have 2 of these. Hey, Renee. She said your paper parties are awesome. Between you and Pip, you have so much content and paper fun. We do. We really, the amount of content that you get in the 2-day party is pretty amazing. We just craft our hearts out. That's what we do during the parties. So today, what I wanted to do is, it's just been so long since I crafted with you guys and kind of caught up. I thought I would make a card. I want to make a fall card. I want to use this Hello Harvest stamp set and die, but I'm going to use this, what is this called? I forget what kind of pattern this is. Like plaid, like the plaid paper. I'm going to try to not knock over my camera and grab this over here and show you. I spent this last weekend, everything's going to fall. It's sliding. Okay, if you guys hear a big crash, don't worry. So I spent this last weekend designing for my class that will be up on Friday. And I used this Hello Harvest set, but I used the Rustic Harvest designer paper. And let me just show you all of the things that I made. These will be, I will do a little bit of a better video showing everything on Friday, because that's when this class comes out. But I just thought it would be fun to show you some of these. So I have 3 memory keeping layouts that I did for this month's class. And I love the colors. It really got me in the fall, in the mood for fall. I was going to decorate for fall this last week, but we are having a huge heat wave move in this weekend. It's going to be like 111 here, and it never gets that hot here. Like it, you know, sometimes gets a little bit over 100, but we don't have temperatures like that. And I'm actually kind of panicked about this little heat wave that's coming in. So I decided to put off decorating for fall until next weekend. And then I have one more layout here. I think it goes this way. Yeah, that's better. So it goes this way. So those are the 3 double-sided 12 by 12 layouts. They were fun. I loved the ribbon. I got to trim down that set of ribbon right there. I have some pretty packaging items that I did for Thanksgiving. I always give the teachers and the staff at school candles. And this is a fall scented candle. It is I think it's a pumpkin, and it's like a spice, like a pumpkin spice. I always try to find glass, like candles that have like a pretty glass or like a pretty top. And then I just use that paper to wrap it around that. I have a couple items here. This is a retired tin, but you can just put a little gift in there. I did this fun little mini coffee cup. So all of these are for my class. Then I did two, a lot of times I like to do white space cards. I really love white space cards, but this time around I did black space cards. So these are with black card bases. I did two of those. I have another pretty packaging item here. These boxes are still available with Stampin' Up. They're not retired. And then I have a set of, these are like my One Sheet Wonder cards. And there's 4 of them. These were really easy to make. The only thing I wish I would have done with these is I wish I would have embossed the card front with like an embossing folder. But those are fun. And then I have the make and takes for the class, which look like this. And these just came out so beautiful. I love them. So this has definitely been a stamp set that I have played with quite a bit, and I really do enjoy it. So let's use some different designer paper, and let's make another fall card. So let me make sure none of that is gonna fall. And then let's move our stuff back over here. So what I've done is I have the dies and the stamp set. And then I've die cut some of the pumpkins. And then I thought what I would do is, and we'll use the sentiment from there. I thought I would look through here. I was thinking that I would use a Cajun Craze card base. And then we would look through here and find some paper. I like that, but I'm not sure. That might be a little much, but we could color those pumpkins for sure. So we have some red. There is some black in here, some pink, some gray. This reminds me more of Halloween. So maybe not that. It looks like probably my best bet is going to be this piece. So let's maybe use that piece. Is there another? Oh, there is. Okay, so there's this piece too, which I think these would make awesome. This is, I guess, more yellow than it is orange. Maybe this is pumpkin pie. This might be crushed curry. So I think I sort of want to go with this. So let's see if I can do something. See, I have no plan today. I just thought I would pop on and craft. So I have this, and then I'm going to grab my basket of die cuts here. Because I'm thinking if I layer my pumpkin on white cardstock, then we could stamp a sentiment on here. I'm kind of panicked, Renee. To be quite honest, I'm kind of panicked because it's not even just like a couple days. It's like going to be a week straight of temperatures over like between 105 and 111. And we don't have central heat or air, so we don't have like an air conditioning situation, which is a bummer. And the nights aren't really supposed to cool down. They're supposed to be like in the 80s, which then that makes it hard too, right? So I'm just trying to take one day at a time. I'm trying to get a lot of work down here done in my office because there's no way I can be in my office. When the temperatures were a week or so ago, they hit about, I don't know, like 102, but they were only that way for a couple days. My office got to 92. So I obviously wasn't down here much. So I've been trying to get some work done down here so that once it gets really hot, I'll be okay. So I'm going to take my pumpkin pie ink pad, and I cut 2 pumpkins because I thought maybe I might do 2 cards depending on how inspired I feel. And I just cut these out using the dies. And for this one set, I used a shim. So I just took a piece of white cardstock and I used it to create some pressure to get this embossed piece to look more embossed. So I don't know that it made much of a difference. I just felt like when I did this one, I felt like that embossed part of the pumpkin didn't emboss well, but I'm looking at the one I did with the shim and I don't know that it's much better. So I'm just going to take a sponge dauber and some pumpkin pie ink, and we're going to ink the edges of these. I'm wondering if I should have maybe used Cajun Craze. And I think I might come back and use some Cajun Craze on here. So I'm just inking here the edges. And I'm getting the edges really dark. And then I'm bringing that sponge dauber in and just giving it a little bit lighter shading. Let's grab Cajun Craze too. You can see I did a lot of coloring for that class that I will post on Friday. I did a lot of coloring with my Wink Stella and this ink pad, and you can see a little bit as I pushed my ink pad to get more ink on here, because I had Wink Stella on there, my ink pad got a little bit of that Wink Stella kind of glimmer situation on there, and that's okay. Once you re-ink it, it ends up being okay, or you can take a baby wipe and wipe that. Our inks are water-based, so you can actually take an entire ink pad, run it under a sink, like cold water, and totally clean off your ink pad and then re-ink it, and it won't ruin the pad itself. If you've ever had like a light ink pad and then you accidentally put dark ink, like you're stamping and you have like a light and then a dark, and you accidentally take a stamp and stick your dark ink right into your light ink, with our ink pads, you can rinse them off and re-ink them, and they will come right back to life. Oh, that's a good tip, Jacqueline. Thanks. We do have fans we put in the windows at night. You know, we have a whole system. It's quite an ordeal. And I'm just gonna, I've been telling myself, just take it one day at a time. Everything will be okay. We have a window unit in our living room, and we block off the living room, and it becomes this little cave, becomes this dark little cave. And we'll just all camp out in the living room, and maybe we'll watch some Marvel movies, or, you know, we'll just hang out. We'll just make the best of it. And we probably won't go anywhere else in the house. So I'm just going to ink these. It's going to give it some depth, and then it's going to help these to stand out. And what I'm going to do is on this top piece, pumpkins are one of my favorite things to, particularly if you are wanting to practice your coloring or get better with coloring. Pumpkins are the best to do that, because for me, I'm not great at coloring. I'm not good at it. I don't necessarily enjoy it. And so, whoops, I keep bending this. When I'm trying to practice, I want something that's going to be easy for me to understand how to color it, and pumpkins are the easiest thing. I love coloring pumpkins. If there's ever anything that if there's ever a time I really want to color, it's when there's pumpkins. So now we have both of those layers. And I mean, you could totally smush these up and make it look more, not rustic. I mean, I guess rustic, but more distressed is the word I'm looking for. Oh, yes. Yeah. We totally do that too. Yeah, I already, like have I make up pictures of water to keep in the fridge, and the kids all have their water bottles that they've actually been using really, really well. Particularly Violet has a hard time sometimes. We have a hard time making sure that she keeps hydrated, and she's like me, she gets headaches really easily from the heat. In fact, that's really my biggest worry when it gets so hot is I think I want a little bit more Cajun craze. I tend to get really bad headaches, and so does she. And so Violet's also autistic, and so once something happens and she kind of understands, she never forgets. And she got a headache recently this summer. She got a really bad headache, and it caused her to throw up. And so all we have to say to her now is, do you want to get dehydrated and throw up and have a headache? And she will get the water, you know? Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit more ink. Sometimes I can't stop when it comes to doing pumpkins, but see what a difference. So just here's the one that if you just only die cut, which it looks beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Like I totally, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you take a little bit of extra time and you add a little bit of ink, it really makes a difference on your projects. So the next thing I want to do is add some Wink of Stella. Oh yeah, this is a new one. Or not a new one, but it has liquid in there. Okay. And actually, I really don't mind those creases from when it kind of folded when I was inking. It really just gives it a really pretty look. Now, because our inks are water-based, they will reactivate when they get wet. So even by adding the Wink of Stella, you're kind of moving that ink around and giving it even a little bit more character. So now we have we need to do a little bit of inking to that, and that is cut in Garden Green. So we'll just take this and do the same thing. With this really dark green, if you wanted the edges to be even darker, see with this I used two colors. I used Pumpkin Pie and then I used Cajun Craze, which Cajun Craze is a deeper, darker color, right? So it came out, it's almost like a burnt orange. If you want that same kind of effect with green, what you can do is you can use Evening Evergreen, which is a bit darker than Garden Green, or you could also use black. And you do black right on the edges there, and it will darken those edges up just a bit. Okay, so then let's grab our liquid glue, and there's a little spot down here on the bottom that doesn't have anything on it. It's not embossed. Is this still clogged? What is happening? I'm getting nervous. A bunch of glue is gonna... well, I'm in my office now, so I can grab a little pick. Oh, yep, there it is, a little stringy. There's no embossed part there on the bottom, and that is for you to place your glue. Oops. There we go. Oops, see, I knew that was going to happen. That's okay. Just wipe some of that off. And then I like to and then angle it just a little bit. Okay, so we'll let that dry. And then let me close all these ink pads because you know I will stick my whole arm in it. My hand, my elbow, my arm, something will happen. And then while this dries, let's start building our card base. So I had pulled out this piece of Cajun Craze and then realized I had a card base already. So the other thing in my basket here are some pieces of white, just basic white. And for darker cards, I like to put a little something inside. And don't mind my trimmer. It needs a little attention. It needs to be cleaned up. The blade needs to be changed. And it needs to be cleaned up. So what I like to do is just stick that in there. Whoops. Let's try that again. There we go. And then on this outside, I'm going to give this another good crease. And you'll notice on the back, there's a little bit of cracking. So I'm just going to go over that so that it's nice and crisp. And then I am thinking this one here. So I think that's going to look really pretty with my pumpkin. So we're going to do this really simple. And I'm just going to cut, let me make sure I'm on camera here. I'm going to cut this at 5 1/4. And then I'm going to cut it at 4. And that's going to be my first layer. Like so. And then I was thinking of this like this and then putting my sentiment on here. But what I'm thinking is because this pumpkin came out so good, I actually think it'll look fine right on the paper. And then what I can do is have my sentiment. But I feel like it needs something else. Like that's too plain for me. So I'm thinking I mean, sometimes you just have to try things out, right? Like you don't know until you try it. And I have a ton of this, what is this called? I keep forgetting what the pattern is. Plaid. I have a ton of this plaid paper because I accidentally kept ordering the paper. I kept thinking I hadn't pre-ordered it. And so then I ordered a pack, forgot I ordered it or thought I didn't order it. And then ordered another pack, forgot I had that, and ordered another pack. So, and this pack of paper, it has a lot of paper in it. It has 48 sheets. So this is, I'm pretty sure this is just, well, one pack is like, I don't know, right about there. And then I have another pack in there, but I have a ton of this paper. So I figure I might as well use it. All right, so let's add a little bit of ribbon to this. And what I'm thinking is, where is my natural wine? I think it's in this right here. Maybe let's use this gold ribbon. Okay. So let's add some foam to this because I like to pop up my card base. I think when you pop up your, not your card base, but like your first layer, I just really think it adds a little something extra to your card. And I get this foam that I'm using is like the cheaper version of 3M foam, but you get like 2 huge rolls for like 10 bucks. So in the YouTube description, my Amazon store is always linked, and I have my favorites that I purchase on Amazon in categories. You can always find it there if you see something that is not Stampin' Up or is not linked in my Stampin' Up supplies. That's usually my go-to is Amazon. Okay, so I have that. And then I probably should have done my ribbon on there first, like before I attached it, but that's okay. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna add that there, but let's also add some ribbon. So because I didn't put it on just this part, I'm going to do it just on the whole card. And that's okay. Use that ribbon up. And this ribbon is really pretty. It's this cream color, and then it has this gold trim on it. And as we all know, that's probably too much ribbon, but I would rather have too much and be able to get my bow tied than not have enough. So the other thing that I always do, or always try to do, is make sure inside your card, the ribbon is flat and it didn't get twisted. And that is a great spot to put a little gift card. The ribbon will hold it in there if you wrap this ribbon all the way around your card. That got loose. See, I can do this better when I'm not on camera. The pressure is on when I'm on camera, when I'm live. I think it got loose again. Let me see. I think I did it. My loop got twisted, but I'll pull that through there and then nobody will know. And that is a perfect size bow. So I did not put my piece of paper on there, but that's okay. We can fix that. So just move this because it's gonna move. And then let's add this piece. I'm not gonna pop this piece up. I want it to go right under my ribbon. And I should have had this on there first. You probably were yelling at the screen for me to put the other piece of paper on. Can you guys see me? Yeah. My camera's a little high today. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna hopefully slide this ribbon. I actually might not be able to. Will I? Oh yeah. It'll just take a little work. There we go. Okay. And then with my ribbon scissors, I'm gonna trim this ribbon. Oh, that came out pretty good. Okay. Now I'm thinking, I wonder if I should do like 3. I feel like 2 is not enough, but, and when you wrap your ribbon that way, the great thing is you can move it around. Okay, so if I do my pumpkin like right here, Oh, what if I do it this way? Oh, but then that's up top. If that would have been on the bottom, that could have worked. I mean, maybe it could still work. See, if it was like this, I feel like I could make that work. This is what happens when you don't have a plan. Okay. So I'm thinking like this. And then like this. Okay, so let's stamp our sentiment. And then I have an idea. So I think maybe I'll just do hello. Well, because I think I'm going to use a different stamp set for something else. So maybe this one. I love this Autumn Wishes. So maybe let's do that one. I need a block. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment in green. And then we're going to do some coloring. So I'm just going to do Autumn Wishes. I could stamp that in gold. Ooh, did it work? It did. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. So this is going to tuck underneath. So it's not quite centered, right? Okay, so the next thing I need is some white. And then we're going to take... That might be too big. Yeah, that's too big. Okay, so we need this little guy right here. We need 2 of these. So we're going to use this. I'm going to show you a trick. Okay. And should we totally do this in gold? Should we do a little heat embossing? I don't see why not. Let's use our little, this is our new, I thought this was much bigger in the catalog. So when I originally saw this, I was like, I'm not going to get that. I don't need something that big. Then I saw it. Somebody else had it. I saw it in person. And I was like, I need that. So we're going to use that. And then I need Versamark and my heat tool. Okay, so we're going to stamp 2 of these. Sort of. Okay. So I want that. And then I want this little one. And Versamark always scares me. I always feel like it's going to dry before I have a chance to get the embossing powder on it. But it really doesn't. It really stays wet for a while. So we're going to use gold embossing powder. On both of those. I guess I didn't need the tray after all. I managed to keep it. Did I mess up? Where's that stamp? I sure did. I mean, I didn't mess up, but I need this other. I didn't stamp the right portion of this. But that's okay. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. That's what I want. I love this gold embossing powder. I'm getting excited for the holidays because there's so much fun crafting to do, right? Okay, so let me just move the comments here 1 second, and then I'll catch up on comments. I just need to access my plug here. So let's grab the heat tool. I had no intentions of heat embossing today, or I would have been better prepared. Okay. So I'm gonna let this warm up, and then I'm gonna catch up on comments. Here's from I think this is from my Stamperata. So. Jacqueline said, I just ordered the embossing set. I'm so messy. Almost finished designing my international Christmas cards. Oh, how fun. I haven't even started thinking about Christmas cards. I will at the end of this month. So now I'm just going to heat set this. And that is where the magic takes place. I'm going to heat set it all, even though I'm not going to be using all of it. This is so pretty. Okay, let's just make sure that all of it is heat set. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to take our Wink of Stella. This card is almost finished. And I'm not going to need green, but I'm going to need, let's do yellow. So let's do crushed curry. So I'm just going to make sure I have ink right there. And then we're going to take our Wink of Stella, dip it into the ink pad here. And then I want this one. And the great thing with this is you don't even have to be careful because that gold embossing powder is going to resist the ink. And it is going to be super easy to fill these in. I'm not going to try to do any kind of blending or make anything darker or lighter. I'm just going to let that embossing powder and that gold, I'm just going to let it shine. So I want that one, and then I want this little one. And I like to add these kinds of things in 3, so I might color one more. And you're going to have a little bit of shimmer because I'm using a Wink of Stella. The reason I like to use a Wink of Stella for this process here when I'm coloring something with ink instead of a water brush is because I feel like I have more control with my Wink of Stella than I do with like a water brush or a paintbrush and water. I just feel like because the liquid doesn't come out of a Wink of Stella very fast, you know, it feels a little bit more controlled, and then you get the added benefit of that glimmer. So then let's take a little Cajun Craze and do the middles. And that's probably not the most realistic thing in the world, but when I'm making a card, I'm really not looking to be realistic. I'm just looking for my card to be what I want it to be. Okay, so we colored those, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to fussy cut these, and then we can put the cards together. So I have 3 of these. This one's a little, it's not, This one's like on its side, so it's a little bit, not weird, but, you know, it's not a straight on flower. So I'm just not even being all that careful. I think there's a die that cuts this single one out, but I don't want to get my die cut machine out. I don't have room here on my table. I think this tiny one will be the hardest. Okay, so we have that. Look at how beautiful that is with the gold. And then this one, because it's sort of in this like cluster, I'm definitely going to have a little bit of the gold. Like you'll see on the edges, it won't be as clean and white as these other ones are going to be because these are already in a cluster. But this is a way to stretch your stamps. You know, think outside of the box when you have your stamps. Think about different ways you can use them. So, like, instead of there being a white border all the way around this, it's not going to be crisp because this flower is in the middle of another cluster of items, right? But like nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna look at your card and be like, you used that stamp wrong. It doesn't, you know, like if they do, if somebody does say that to you, don't ever give them a card again. But really, nobody is gonna know. And it's always nice. I feel like I don't use my stamps as much as I could. I feel like sometimes I look at them and I don't know exactly what to do with them, or I don't think outside of the box with them, and I'm trying to be better about that. So see, you can't, it's totally not a big deal. Okay, so let's put this card together. So what I'm gonna do is I want to put this sort of over the ribbon, like the bow is nestled up here, okay? So I do want to pop this up, which will make this a pretty thick card, but I do think it's worth it. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and use a piece of foam that's going to cover more of it. Oh, thanks, Renee. Okay, so I'm going to stick this right here. Once I put that adhesive down, now that bow's not going to move now. So then what I'm going to do is on this one, I'm going to add a little bit of glue, just liquid glue. This one is really clogged up. Like, I'm really struggling with this one. Where'd my little pick go? At this point, I should just get a new one. But it's like I don't want the glue bottle to win. Okay, give up. Nobody has time for that. Let's just grab a new one. Maybe it's just because it's almost out. Oh, yeah, see? Okay, so this one that's... we're going to put right there. Now we're going to put our autumn wishes down. Going to get that sentiment in there. And I'm going to tuck that right there. And then also try to make sure that it's lined up. Okay. And then we're going to attach these down here. So I'm thinking right here. And then right here. So one we're going to tuck under the one layer, which is another great way to give your projects depth, is to think about how to tuck things underneath and layer things in a different way. And I want it sort of over the sentiment, because then this one's going to go right here. So I want it to layer like that, and then we'll layer this one right here, like so. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do, because I can't resist doing some kind of bling, you could add some rhinestones or gems. I'm going to get into my drawer here, and we're going to go with some glitter Nouveau drops. I really want my pale gold one. I don't want glitter. Whoever in their right mind would say that they didn't want glitter. So just like I do my gems, I'm just going to add those Nouveau drops. And I feel like that will be perfect. And then, well, maybe one more thing. This is where I just have a hard time stopping. Let's bring that gold glitter back up, and we'll put it right over the middle of that Cajun craze. That will lighten that a little bit. It will dry a little bit clearer, but it won't be as bright. I feel like that Cajun craze is just a little bit bright. Okay. So I love the way this came out. I had no plan. As often I don't have a plan. But I think it came out perfect. I love this plaid. The plaid pattern paper is super, super cute. So I love that. So I hope you enjoyed this card. It was great catching up with you guys. If you're interested in that paper party pack, I will put a link in the description where you can click it and purchase it. I will send it out right away. As soon as you purchase it, I will drop it in the mail. The party is in 2 weeks. It is on September 9th. It's like 8th and the 9th, or the 9th and the 10th. It's that weekend. And I would love to craft with you and hang out and make some fall and winter cards. So I will be back later this week. My class is coming out on Friday. So you will see all of the details for the Blessed to Craft monthly class and the monthly Make and Take packet. Let's see. I'm going to pop you out of my stand here and maybe give you a little peek. There is the class all in there. And here's our project. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will chat with you at the end of the week.